What is the best website platform for online business? There are so many options out there, but when you're starting out, it can be a good idea to use a free tool to test out your ideas before you go spending a lot of money and investing a lot of money in getting your business up and running, so that you know if your idea is going to work. And that's what this video is about. So there are a couple of options I'm going to share with you today, and both of them allow you to sell both products, physical products and digital products online without putting any money in up front. So there are pros and cons to both of them, and we'll go through that in a moment. And I'll also share my conclusion at the end. So I'm going to show you Gumroad and Payhip, and so let's jump in onto my computer and have a look at both of them. Okay, so now let's look at the pricing for Gumroad. This is their pricing page, so this is how it works. The thing I like about Gumroad and Payhip is they don't charge you before you start making money. You can choose to pay on Payhip, but there is a free option until you test whether your products are going to sell or not. So both of them are good from that point of view, that you can kind of test your ideas without having to make a big financial commitment. So here is the Gumroad fee. So when you're earning from nothing, $0 to $1,000, you pay 9% transaction fees. From 1,000 to 10,000, it's 7%. From 10,000 to 100,000, it's 5%. From 1,000 to 1 million, it's 3%, and above 1 million, it's 2.9%. They also, if you see down here, have a 30-cent charge on each transaction, so it's a good idea to factor that in when you're working out your prices as well. So I like the fact it's got no monthly fee. It works out about the same as Payhip, so I wouldn't let pricing kind of sway you in either way, unless you think if you've got a massive audience and you think you're going to be selling way more, then maybe Gumroad is the way to do, but maybe it doesn't have the functionality you need, so you need to compare the two, and I'll get on to Payhip shortly to show you how it compares in terms of the functionality for what you can actually sell on there. Okay, so this is the Payhip pricing structure. So I have created an entire website using Payhip and set up products, and I've not even given them my payment details yet. So you have the forever free feature, which is what I'm on just now, where if I sell anything, I have a 5% transaction fee. But if I've, say, linked up my PayPal or my Stripe, then I would need to pay their transaction fees on top of that. So it's working out about 7 or 8% based on what PayPal and Stripe's fees are. But work out exactly what fees you're on to make sure you're aware of that up front. So you still get access to all the same features as you get in the higher plans. The higher plans are just, once you know you're selling things and you can cover off this cost, you can work out at what stage it makes sense for you to move into the $29 a month bracket with a 2% transaction fee, so that you're not paying a 5% transaction fee, if that makes sense. So it's only worth moving up to Plus or Pro when you're actually making the number of sales that make that worthwhile for you. And again, so all three of them, you get exactly the same features. It just depends how much you're selling, which plan you want to be on. And that's basically how Payhip pricing works. Okay, so this is in the dashboard on Gumroad, so I just thought I'd show you around so you can see what you can sell. So if I just click on new product, that will give us the breakdown, and these are all the options when you go to create a new product in Gumroad. So we have digital product. So this is anything like a PDF or a link to a template you can create in digital product. Course or tutorial. So this is sell a single lesson or teach a whole cohort of students. So I tried to set up a course with multiple videos. It's not for that. It's literally for if you've just got a one-off video like a workshop or something. It can't be anything more complex than that. So if you're wanting to do something more complex, Payhip's definitely a better option for that. I'll show you in that after. Then we have ebook. So this is, again, if you're wanting to sell something like a PDF, you can sell it through the ebook section, very similar to digital product. Then we have newsletter. So this is just if you're wanting to send a recurring content through email, they have it set up that you can do that within here. Membership, similar to course, it's not going to be a complex membership, so that's something to keep in mind. And then we have podcast.
So if you're wanting to make a paid podcast where you're providing audio on a regular basis, then you can create a paid podcast in here. And then we've got audiobook, which would be similar to podcast but a one-off, and physical products as well. So those are all the things that you can sell within Gumroad. Okay, so this is now the back end of Payhip. So I'm going to go to add a new product here to show the options. And so here we have a choice of digital product. So this is ebook, software and any other files. But again, it's a file that you upload. So if you've got a link, you would need to create a PDF to then add to the digital product file. You can sell physical products, courses, but in this case, courses are... you can create modules, so you've got a lot more flexibility in how you create a course. You can create a coaching service, so this is just to, if you're selling higher ticket items, you can set all that up and link to your calendar from within Payhip. You can create subscription billing for whatever that may be, whether that's a recurring audio file membership, email marketing. It's just a subscription set up to create anything where you're going to be billing on a monthly basis. And then bundle. So this is where you can bundle either your courses or your digital products together into all sorts of combinations if that's something that you wanted to do. So it's basically the same choice as within Gumroad, but I think the course functionality is better in Payhip, having tried them both. So in terms of marketing in Gumroad, there are less options than Payhip, but one of them is quite interesting, and that's this. So when you set up your product and you go to the Share tab, you can scroll down here and you can toggle on that you want to boost your product visibility on Gumroad's Discover page. So they have almost like think of it like a mini Etsy. I don't know how many people shop on it though, so this is something I need to test out further. But to have your product show up there, you need to set a Discover fee, and the minimum that you can set it to is 30% for it to show up on that Discover page. And it says here that the more you increase your product visibility to increase your product visibility, you set a higher Discover fee, and that means you're going to have a better chance of showing up higher up in the search results. So it's worth testing out whether that works, and I might do another video where I do test that out more because I've not really used it yet. So that's the kind of main difference to Payhip. Other than that, they don't really have as many marketing options. If I go into posts, just to show you, so this section, you can create a post which can be like a blog post or an email. So I created this as a test, which is just a blog post, but you can also schedule posts here, and you can set them to go out to your audience when you start to build an audience on Gumroad of purchasers. So the post is kind of like a mix between blog posts and emails, which really confused me, and I haven't really used it yet because it did confuse me. And it looks like you can create workflows here as well to automate emails. So it's like you can kind of blog and email in this in Gumroad, but there's not much else unless you want to show up on their Discover page. Okay, so and lastly we have marketing with Payhip. So we have all the different marketing options along here, like little tabs. So the first one is coupons, so you can create coupon codes maybe for like Christmas discounts, or if you're doing a deal with if you're a guest on someone's podcast or something and you want to provide a specific coupon code for that guest. Or social media influencers is another one where you might use a coupon code. Social discounts. So you can't use social discounts if you have a custom domain enabled, which I do. So I'm using my own domain, offerdesignstudio.com. But if you are using the Payhip domain, you can enable social discounts as well, which is just where you can link up to your social media to create discounts. When people share on Facebook, they would earn themselves a discount by sharing your product. So it might be worth not having a custom domain to test that out. So affiliates, it has the functionality to track what you owe your affiliates if people are sharing your products, and they're earning a commission for that product. It does say here to note that you'll have to handle paying affiliates for yourself. I know I use Thrivecart as well, and they auto pay affiliates, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. If you're going to have a lot of affiliates, it could be a bit of an admin headache to do that, but you do have the functionality for it. Mailing lists, this is where basically I've got my MailerLite set up, linked to my Payhip, which means when anyone signs up for any of my products, free or paid, they automatically get added to my mailing list, and I can select which subscriber group I want them to be added to. Then we have cross-selling. So this is where you can cross-promote your products from within your product range. So it's got an example here. Promote your products to customers when they add an item to their cart. For example, buy one, get one half price. So you can set that up within here. And then we've got referral. So this is to incentivize your customers to share your products with their friends. So basically, if someone shares your product with their friends, they both get a discount. And I think I have this set up on one of my products, so I will show you that in a second. And then we've got upgrade, which is a bit like an upsell, where when someone buys one product, they're then prompted, would you like this other product as well? A bit like when you're in a supermarket or in a shop and someone tries to upsell you something else at the till. So let me just come out of here and I will actually change this. So if I click on one of these products, yes, so this is an example of the refer a friend. So you see I've got the banner at the top which says refer a friend and get 10% off. They'll get 10% off too. So that's how that works. And so that's all the, actually that's not all the options in Payhip. I forgot. And within Payhip as well, if I go to the dashboard, you also have the option, I can never find it, to blog. So you can add blog posts at the bottom here as well. So you can blog as well as have all those other marketing options.
So the thing I love about both these tools is both of them deal with international taxes for you. So I'm no tax expert, so please don't take this as legal or tax advice. But no matter where in the world you are selling from, if you sell to people within the EU, you should be submitting VAT on any digital items that you sell to customers in the EU. And this can be a bit of a headache because you're meant to submit it to all the individual countries. And so both of these tools do that for you and pay the tax for you so that you don't need to worry about it. And I absolutely love that. My personal preference is Payhip, and that's for a few reasons. The first one is that you can save your customers to your own email list, and you can connect your email list to Payhip. That means that if anything ever happens to Payhip or Gumroad, I'm not tied to Payhip. I already have a database of my cumrades that I can export from my email marketing service, and I own my list of customers rather than leaving it to Gumroad or Payhip to kind of own that, and if anything happens to them, my business is scuppered. The second reason I prefer Payhip is when it comes to courses. You can create courses with multiple modules in Payhip, whereas you can only create kind of mini courses in Gumroad. So if you're wanting to kind of test course ideas, then Payhip is definitely a better option. And the third reason is I just feel there are a lot more marketing options and possibilities within Payhip. So you can play about with different marketing ideas with the coupons and the different referral systems and bundling. There are just way more ways to be creative in that sense. I'll leave a link to both Payhip and Gumroad in the description. Choosing a platform is just one step, but if you would like help in picking the right idea for your personality and lifestyle, then I recommend you watch this video next.